Hi everyone, this is Striker here, and I want to welcome you to episode number 1 of my Redout Advanced Strategy Guide series. This episode is titled Relax and Drive, and I've titled it so because I believe one of the biggest areas of improvement for novice and intermediate players in Redout is the ability to drive the track without overcorrecting your steering, without providing too many inputs to the controller, which would impede your ability to drive in a completely straight line. So I want to use my Mobius Speedway lap here as an example of how we can utilize less inputs and relax your hands to drive faster and navigate the course more perfectly. Let's take a look at the full lap and then we'll break it down frame by frame. So now that we've watched the lap in its entirety, I want to replay it, pause it at specific points, and illustrate how the lack of steering helped me to drive faster and faster in this world record lap. So if we just play the video, you'll notice that I do give the ship a couple of boosts just to gain speed, and when I'm coming around this corner here, my objective is to try and keep as straight of an angle as possible. Now keep in mind, the first half of this lap is not perfect, and my angles are not quite as good as they could be, but I want you to notice the amount of speed that I'm carrying through this initial start line. So my boost gauge right now, if you can see my mouse, is about halfway down. That's how much I'm draining in order to glide myself to this corner. So let me back that up a little bit. So we are shooting right for that corner. Now, once I hit this corner, my objective is to slow down as little as possible. So I want to provide an immediate boost. And even there, you see I was a little bit delayed. That could be improved. But when I boost there, I tap and I drive right out. Now notice something. Look at my ship relative to the track. So I talked about relaxing the hands and not oversteering. So what I don't do is allow this turn to skew my perception of where I need to go. Where I need to go is directly in front of me to that checkpoint marker. So I try and cut the angle in a way that allows me to carry the most amount of speed to this speed path. Next part of the track here is the right hairpin, if you will. Now the main consideration here is to get a very clean wall bounce. So I'll talk about wall bouncing in a future video, but for right now, notice how closely that I just hugged this right side. Could be even closer, but if you go frame by frame, take a look at how that angle is that I'm cutting it. And what that allows me to do is by the time I get to the wall, I'm able to tap that back corner of the ship in a very light and delicate manner. So those are some of the particulars of this track's strategy. But here's when I really want to talk about relaxing the hands. So the rest of the track is pretty much a straight line from here on out. So what I want to do is quickly arrange the ship in a position to drive straight. And when the track eventually narrows to the left, I want to still be able to drive in a straight line. So watch this angle adjustment. And now from here, I boost and I will go in a completely straight line with almost no turning throughout the rest of this entire lap. So watch this. So the track narrows here. You can see it coming up, but notice I haven't turned. I'm still driving straight. And now there's just a very slight turn to the left to allow me to clear that barrier and still position myself for the upcoming straight. But look at the ship. The ship is still in the orientation that we were in before. So that allows me to not have to quickly turn left and then turn right again to cover this next loop. I can drive pretty much straight through it. And look at the position it puts me into boost. So now that I'm turboing, I have a very direct line all the way through into that loop. So I'm going to play that one more time. I want you to watch that in real speed. So we position the ship here. We orient. Now we're going in a completely straight line. No steering adjustment yet. Just a hair to the left. And then watch this. Straight line through. Now, once we get to here, we're still in the straight line, but we do have an upcoming right-hand turn. Now, in my testing, I have found that it works better to not have to contact into this left side wall. At the same time, we talked about not oversteering. So what I want to do is position the craft slightly to the left. So look, this line here, if you can see my mouse, that's the midline of the track. So I'm at the left side, and what that allows me to do now is shift over, barely clear that right side wall, and then drain my boost completely as I cross through to the finish. So in totality, a few things could be better in this lap, namely the beginning. So watch how I'm a little bit unsteady at the beginning here in terms of aligning myself. So right there, that's a bit of an oversteer, but it allows me to still contact the end of that wall. Second thing would be to get a more immediate boost and change of angle there. But other than that, that is a pretty clean lap with a really nice wall bounce and a fantastic angle and orientation through this inverted loop and to the traditional loop. So I hope that illustrates how the concept of trying to drive in more relaxed positions helps. So when you see a turn, you don't have to react strongly to it. You don't have to position the ship always in the middle of the track. You just need to relax and drive. Thank you for joining me on episode number 1, and I look forward to bringing you more Redout Advanced Strategies in the future. Thank you.